Our next guest has defied the odds. She went from teen mom to millionaire, and now she teaches other women how to boss up and bounce back. Please welcome from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Sierra Gates. Hey, Sierra! You are looking fly and fabulous, honey.
Thank you. You are too.
Well, welcome to the show, Sierra. First, congratulations are in order because you recently got engaged to your now fiance, Eric. Now, tell us all about the proposal. Were you really surprised? Show that ring, honey. Yes. How many carats is that?
Yes. Thank you. I really was surprised. He did it on Christmas. I was opening up gifts all day, like so many gifts, the whole entire Christmas, and he waited till like the end of the day, and I was still opening up gifts, and I'm like, oh my God, I still got more gifts. And I looked up, and he was on, as I was opening up other gifts, I looked up, and he was on one knee, and I'm like, oh my goodness.
Oh, because you know what? You said God told you your fiance was the one. How did you know that this time around it would be different? Because we remember the other time. You didn't do it, but it happened.
Yes, I knew that Eric was the one, like just simply because he's a man. And the other one, it was just completely different. With Eric, you know, he's a man, he's a stand-up guy. It feels good to actually be with somebody that have your back in every aspect, you know, especially as an independent woman. Sometimes a lot of us, I know I'm not the only one because I went through this. I felt like I just had to settle for what I had. And when God actually show you that you don't have to do that, it's like, It's a dream come true. Like, oh my God.
Yeah. Now, what do you say to people commenting on how fast you moved on from one relationship to the next and you got an engagement? What do you say to people?
First of all, they're not God. And they need to mind the business that pays them. And, you know, and again, they're not God. So, you know, they can't judge me. And right now I'm living out my life in God's way. Exactly how he wants to do it.
What advice do you give to a woman if she's trying to move on, Sierra? You know, because, I mean, you could have easily stayed in the last relationship, but it was more than just God. It was something else. What was that something else that made you say, you know what, I'm going to move on?
Honestly, because, you know, I am a public figure and I have a lot of young girls that look up to me. And I wanted them to, and, you know, and I'm just going to be 1,000% transparent. A lot of times, you know, I would see girls out in public and I use, you know, the Love and Hip Hop platform to tell my testimony, how I was a high school, you know, dropout, but I'm also a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? I am a teen mom, but God also has something else better for my life. So, you know, I wanted to keep those, you know, to me showing girls what I was doing and in a positive aspect, and then them seeing me being in a bad relationship because my life is on television and they see me be cheated on. They seen different things happen to me that wasn't so good, you know what I'm saying? So I really did it for myself and for them. They kind of gave me the strength. I would be out with my ex and they would say, oh my God, Sierra, we love you. You motivate us so much, but honestly, you deserve better. We watch you go through all of this stuff with him, but we honestly think that you deserve better. You know what I'm saying? And I just would like, I could not do that to them. I could not leave a bad example with them because I know how much they look up to me. So it used to bother me a lot. Like, dang, I gotta do something about this.
Yeah, you wanted to walk the walk, not only just talk the talk, and that's what you're doing.
I did. I really did. I wanted to lead by an example.
Well, you certainly are doing that. And unfortunately, last year you were a victim in a very scary incident. Your home in Atlanta was the target of a home invasion. Thankfully, no one was at home at the time. But how has that affected you?
Honestly, it has affected me tremendously. Like, I'm always looking over my shoulders, you know what I'm saying? And just because as a girl that was born and raised in Atlanta, I kind of felt like, you know, Atlanta had me. if I can't go anywhere else and be safe, I knew I can be safe in Atlanta, and I was wrong. So it really bothered me. So now it's like, this is where I was born and raised. I went to elementary, high school, middle school. I went, this is where I'm from. This is where my mom and dad was born and raised at. So if I can't be safe here, it's like, dang, I can't be safe anywhere. So it really affected me a whole lot. And especially with me buying my dream home, I'm like, okay, my dream home is here. I came from nothing. Now I have something. My kids are gonna love it. And just to know that I can enjoy it, because I got to look over my back or seeing if, maybe thinking that somebody's going to do something to me, it kind of left me really traumatized.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Have you done any precautions? Have they found anybody that, did the break-in?
Well, since COVID, the whole crime rate have shot through the ceiling. So it's just like, yeah, they saying they doing stuff and they saying they have, suspects, but then it's like they really don't. So many people houses have gotten broken into since COVID. Is just ridiculous. So for now, sadly, but we sold the house. Where we're in the process of selling the house. We found a buyer. Closing date supposed to be, next week. So and that's really sad for me as well. But now I'm just like, I had to be put up in a building where I feel safe, where I can go, where they can go through so many levels of security so that I can feel okay. And it's like, dang, it's not okay, because I'm here in Atlanta and I can't even live the life that I deserve to live.
You know what? That's what happens when you become a reality show star and a hit reality show star. And I just hope, and we're going to give God's blessings for your safety and let you know that everything's going to be all right. And I'm glad you're taking the precautions, because your safety is more important than anything, Sierra, okay?
Yes, no, thank you.
All right. Well, now let's talk about your hit reality show, girl. We're going to change the pace up. Love and Hip Hop. How has that show helped advance your career since joining in season 6?
Honestly, for me, as it's been a blessing. I know a lot of people have, their opinions about Love and Hip Hop, and a lot of them are not all so good at times. But what I did with this opportunity, because Love and Hip Hop, like I said, everybody have their opinions, but I took the opportunity outside of the opinions and made it work for me.
Okay.
So I was able to tell my testimony. Look how many lives I've touched since I've been on Love and Hip Hop. I really utilized this platform to tell my testimony. It's other African American girls that have gone through what I've went through and scared to go to the next level. But I'm here to show you and tell you that, look, I made it. And if God did it for me, he can do it for you too.
That's right. And you're also the queen of glam. And today you're giving us an exclusive look at your Boss Up palette. Now, how did you come up with that name first? I love it.
Yes. So the name came from my daughter. I had her when I was 15 years old. I'm 2 months away from being 16. That's my beautiful Perry. And I remember talking to my baby when I had her. I would cry out to her, because remember, I was only a young teenager. So I remember going through different situations and I would cry out to my baby. And one day she started talking back to me. And I'm like, oh my God, this baby, she can talk now. But she would tell me when I would go through different things, like, boss up. My baby always seen me be the strong woman. You know what I'm saying? And when she didn't look at me as being somebody that would be sad and down and crying and stuff like that. So when I would go through my little emotional specks in life, she would say, boss up, babe.
Oh.
Boss up in that situation. So I actually got the name from her. So this whole entire palette is dedicated to my baby girl, Paris.
Oh, that is so sweet. Oh, Sierra, thank you so much for hanging out with The Real today. The Boss Up palette will be available just in time for Valentine's Day.